Today I will go for the next part of the solution, that is the osmosis. So what is the meaning of osmosis? Osmosis is a spontaneous process in which lower concentration solution moves to the higher concentration through SPM. So here if I am taking, this is a lower concentration solution and I am putting a SPM here, that is semi-permeable membrane, and this side higher concentration is present. Then what will happen? The lower concentration solution start to move towards the higher concentration in a spontaneous process, and we can say this process is osmosis. For example, let's say you are taking a container here, and this container consists of some amount of sugar solution, and you are putting a glass tube here, and the bottom of the glass tube is fitted with one of the SPM. And let's say you are putting some amount of water here. You are putting some amount of water here at the time t equal to 0, means initially. You can observe after some times the water moves downward, and it will be, let's say after some time it will be present here. So why is it? Because I told here I am using one of the SPM, and this is the sugar solution, and this is the water. And we know the sugar solution concentration is more than the water concentration. So this is the less concentration and this is the high concentration. Less concentration solution is called hypotonic, whereas high concentration solution is called hypertonic. I am using one of the SPM here so that we can observe after some times the solvent particles move through the SPM to the solution side. So the level of water inside the glass tube decreases, and it is due to the osmosis. So this process is your osmosis. So generally, how many types of osmosis are there? The osmosis are three types. One is your exosmosis, another is your endosmosis, and another is your reverse osmosis. So osmosis are three types: exo, endo, and reverse. We know exo means release or out, endo means in or absorb, and reverse means just opposite. If I am telling exosmosis, what it indicates? In the process of exosmosis, the lower concentration particles should move outward through SPM. If I am telling endosmosis, here the higher concentration particle should move inward. Here the lower concentration particle move outward through SPM. Here the lower concentration particles, in the endosmosis, lower concentration particles move inward through SPM. And if I am telling about the reverse osmosis, it is just opposite. Here the higher concentration move towards lower concentration through SPM. And this process is not a spontaneous process. So reverse osmosis is always a non-spontaneous process. So it is a non-spontaneous process. So I will give some example how the exosmosis is there, how the endosmosis, and how the reverse osmosis. If I want to take a container consists of diluted HCl here, and I am putting 2 egg here, then what will happen? The outer part of the egg, hard shell of the egg, is the calcium carbonate, and which can react with the diluted HCl. And when it reacts with the diluted HCl, it gives calcium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide. And we know calcium chloride is highly soluble in water, and for that reason it will be dissolved. Carbon dioxide will be escaped. So after the removal of outermost hard part from the egg, then we can observe this egg consists of protoplasm, means this egg consists of yolk with albumin inside it, and its surface is act as an SPM. So like that we can get the 2 egg here. And here, if I want to take 2 container, this is one container and this is another container. In one container we are taking fresh water, in another container we are taking salt water. We are taking salt water. Now I will put one egg here and I am putting another egg here. If this is one egg and this is another egg, this inside the egg, it consists albumin with yolk, and outside here it is water is there. Now in between the water and the egg concentration, the egg concentration is more than the water concentration and its surface is act as an SPM. So according to the osmosis, as it is spontaneous process osmosis, the lower concentration move to the higher concentration, and for that reason what will happen? Here the water having the lower concentration, so the water start to move inward. So when the water start to move inward, then what will be happen? That indicates that the egg cell start to swell. So it start to swell. So the size of egg will be increased. As here the lower concentration move inward, so we can say this is the example of endoosmosis. This is the example of endoosmosis. Now I am going for this one. Here this egg consists of albumin with yolk and it is dipped inside the salt water. The salt water concentration is more than the egg, so this is the high concentration, and inside the egg the concentration is less, so this is the low concentration. Now according to the osmosis, what will happen? The lower concentration solvent particles, because in the osmosis only the solvent particles can move, not the solid particles, start to move outside, as a result of which this egg start to shrink, and here the egg size will be decreases, and now here the lower concentration moves outward. So this is an example of exosmosis. So I told what is endosmosis, what is exosmosis. Now if I want to boil the egg in the fresh water, then the egg size slightly increases, and that is due to the same endosmosis process. And if I want to boil the egg in salt water, then the egg size decreases, that is due to the exosmosis. Now we'll go further. What is the meaning of reverse osmosis? In the process of reverse osmosis, I am telling just opposite of osmosis, means here the higher concentration move to the lower concentration through SPM. That is the good example is the purification of water. So when we want to purify the water through AquaGuard, the impure water consists more concentration, and when it passes through the AquaGuard, this AquaGuard consists of different types of cylinder, that is your carbon cylinder and iron cylinder, and its surface is coated with one of the SPM. So when it passes through it, then some of the impurities particles start to remove from the water, and we are getting some pure water. So this is the process of reverse osmosis. So generally in the reverse osmosis, we are getting pure water from the impure water. This process is called RO process, that is called reverse osmosis process. So now we'll know about what is osmotic pressure. So we should know what is the meaning of osmotic pressure. This osmotic pressure is represented by the symbol pi. So what is the osmotic pressure? Generally it is the pressure we want to apply in the higher concentration side to check the flow of lower concentration solution through SPM. Means I am telling, if this is the higher concentration and this is the lower concentration, I want to check the flow, means here I want to stop the flow, means I will apply some pressure here. Let's say I am applying first pressure is your 1 atm. I observe the process becomes slow. I am applying the pressure now 2 atms, it becomes slow, more, and at the pressure of 3 atm, I observe the lower concentration flow will cease. Then we can say this 3 atm pressure is nothing but your osmotic pressure, because this 3 atm pressure stop the flow of lower concentration towards the higher concentration. Then we can say this 3 atm is your osmotic pressure. Now remember, if I want to apply here 4 atm pressure, then what will happen? If I am applying here 4 atm pressure, that indicates now the higher concentration start to move towards the lower concentration. Then it observe then we can observe it is a reverse osmosis process. So what is in the reverse osmosis? What will happen? In the reverse osmosis, the higher concentration move to the lower concentration through SPM. So if the applied pressure in the higher concentration side is more than the osmotic pressure, then automatically it becomes the reverse osmosis. Now I will tell how the osmotic pressure and concentration solutions are related. So let's say I have taken the two solutions. This is one and I am taking another solution. Here I am using the same SPM. Here the lower concentration side in both sides is set. Let it is 2 moles per liter and here also it is 2 moles per liter. But in the higher concentration side I am changing the concentration. This side the concentration is, let's say, 4 moles per liter and here the concentration is, let's say, 7 moles per liter. So I want to find out where the concentration osmosis process will be first. In both cases, in the spontaneous process, lower concentration move to the higher concentration side. But here, as the concentration difference is more, so this flow rate is more in comparison to this flow rate. And for that reason, if I want to check the flow of osmosis, then I want to apply pressure here, I want to apply the pressure here. But the pressure applied here should be more than the pressure applied here, because here the flow rate is more. So if I am applying here 3 atm pressure, it requires more than the 3 atm to stop the osmosis. That indicates that the osmotic pressure is directly proportional to the amount of solute present inside the high concentration side also. So I can say osmosis depend upon the amount of solute, osmotic pressure depend upon the amount of solute. So osmotic pressure is also a qualitative property. So if I will represent this osmotic pressure pi, so it is related to amount of solute present in solution. So for that reason we are telling osmotic pressure is a qualitative property. And here already I observed the osmotic pressure is directly proportional to the concentration solution. So I can say pi is proportional to C. So on the next class I will go for how it is related to